Well, folks, welcome to another Shop Talk, and we are in Trimble, Missouri, and we're here with Chad Clancy, and we're going to talk a little bit about Chad's career. Chad, seems like most racers, you've got a background of having your dad, grandpa, relatives, whatever, that started out racing, and probably as a little kid you were around that a lot.
Oh yeah, I grew up every weekend at the races. My grandpa Everett raced at Riverside and Lakeside. He quit racing when I was little, but then my uncle started racing at Jamesport and Bethany and Winston when I was 12 to 15, and I was there with them every weekend.
Yeah. Where did you grow up, Chad?
Excelsior Springs.
Excelsior Springs. So you're a product of the Northland.
Yeah.
In '95, though, you do kind of get your career started in that you start out racing go-karts, and you finished, I think, 4th or 5th in the points back then. Having done that, would it be something that you would want to recommend to somebody that they've got a small child or whatever that's wanting to get into racing?
Yeah, I mean, it gets the feel of the flags and just how racing works, but I don't care for it just because I think they're dangerous myself. But yeah, it's a good place to get started in. I raced them 1 year and figured with the money we were spending on that, I could build a street stock, something I knew how to work on. So that's what we did.
You know, I've talked to a few people that have raced go-karts, and one of the things that I've been told is I forget how many sets of tires the guys that are really into it and competitive and want to run up front, I guess you've just got to have oodles and gobs of tires.
Oh yeah, I guess they take it pretty serious. I think a lot more than we do. But yeah, I never was really into all that, so I never really got involved with it too much.
Okay. So then we move on, and I believe it was 1998 was when you actually picked up your first car, and it was an old used street stock, and you were running at Winston and Bethany, like I say, up north. And I think one of the comments that you made to me was it was tough, because back then there were like 40, 50 street stocks showing up on a night. So really, and especially probably that year, 98, you probably felt good just getting in the A main.
Yeah, I was lucky to make the A, and that was my goal every night, was to make the A, but we did it most nights. But once I made the A, I was toward the back, just getting seat time.
Just getting seat time. Can you remember anything about that first season that stood out? I mean, good or bad?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it was frustrating. A lot of flat tires and stuff like that, but I mean, nothing real good or real bad either. Just kind of finished 10th, 12th every night.
Yeah. Like you say, just getting that seat time, which is so important. In '99, though, you do pick up a new race car. And, boy, you are starting out with some heavy hitters up there on that particular year. You got Mike Ryan, you got Yancey Shepard in there, Vic Austin, and I'm sure a lot of other guys from up north that, you know.
Yeah, and that was when Jason Estes, all of us, we were all just starting racing. So.
Yeah. Kind of household names now. I mean, it's guys that you can go to just about any track here in the Kansas City area now, and those guys are going to be running up front in whatever class it is that they do have. But you do go on and get 2 feature wins that year, so you must have started getting a little grip on it. Did the new car help out?
Yeah, I had a lot better car. I bought it actually from Jim Atkins. Richard Smith built it, and he helped us put it together. My brother and I bought it together, and he helped me a lot. My dad, we were all there every weekend, so we did that with the new car from '99 till 2000. Yeah. And I think I won 4 or 5 features with it.
Yeah. So you're starting to get a little grip on it.
Yeah.
And we're going to jump ahead to 2001, and that's the year that you start running the Charger. And you were saying that back then, the Chargers were running 4 barrels, had a lot of power, and evidently it must have suited your style a little bit because you ended up being the points champion at Osborne.
Yeah, points champion there, and then second at Winston. Back then we ran 82/8s, a lot softer tire, and I guess it just fit my driving style. We won. Yancey loaned me a motor because I won a couple with my motor and just didn't seem to have enough. So he told me to try one, and I did, and then won like the next 9 with his motor. So then I had to buy that one.
That kind of makes you committed a little bit more than just owing him something, wanting to go fast. But it must have been a quick learn for you to switch over from the street stocks to the Chargers.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I did. I picked up on it pretty quick, so I liked it a lot better. Just a lot faster, and car drove a lot better. But not a whole lot of difference, but just the horsepower mainly.
You think maybe was the competition level a little higher too in the Charger class?
Yeah, back then there was 20, about average 20 cars back then, and that's the year or two after that's whenever they really started dying off, and then they dropped the class up there. But yeah, it was pretty tough back then.
2002, you pick up your own modified, but you're also driving a Charger at the same time for Mike Johnson, and right off the bat, you win 6 out of 7 races. And there again, that must have been some fun and a pretty good success for you. And you have 20 races with Yancey, but no wins in a modified.
Right. Yeah, we ran Mayetta a lot that year, and just kind of got away from up north for a while, and had a lot of fun racing out of Mayetta. But yeah, never got a win in that. But had a lot of fun driving Mike Johnson's car.
Yeah. So. Running up north. Speaking of that, I mean, I can think of several drivers that have come from up north running at the small tracks up there. At Savannah, Bethany, Winston, Osborne. What was your favorite track up there, Mike? Or Chad?
Oh, Osborne's the most fun to drive, but I prefer a dry slick track, and that track's always real muddy and fast. But in a Charger car, it was a lot of fun. But in a modified, I'd have to say like Winston probably.
Yeah. In 2003, you start running a modified, and you finish third in the points at Savannah. I think I only made it up to Savannah maybe 3 times in my whole life. And every time I went, man, it was just so rough. Was the track always that way up there at Savannah?
Oh, that year I wouldn't say it was real rough. I mean, there was certain guys or certain nights it was worse, but usually I would lead a lot, and then Gene or Yancey would pass me toward the end, and I'd run second or third to one of them. But no, I never really tore up a lot up there. I can't say anything bad about it. Yeah. But it was fun to race at, just right around the bottom.
I was going to say it was a fun track to go to. Probably one of the oldest tracks, probably around the Midwest. I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. And but they did have some terrific racing up there. Like I say, I've seen Claxton run up there many times, modified Charger or whatever class they were running. In 2004, though, you pick up a new Jet modified, and you're running at Valley and I-35. No wins, but you were telling me a lot of second and thirds. But does a driver get frustrated running a certain class? Is that, and I guess I want to point this at you, is this why you decided to change? Was it frustration? You get tired of that class? Is it money? What generally is it that makes a driver want to switch?
I'd say a little bit of everything. If you get to tearing stuff up a lot, or when you're learning in a modified, you can tear up a lot of stuff.
Quick.
It costs a lot of money, and my first kid was coming about that time, so just financially and just being frustrated, not being able to figure out everything. And I had a lot of help from Yancey and some other friends, but yeah, it's easy to get frustrated for anybody if you get down on yourself. So.
Yeah, it has to be, because as much money, effort, and time as racers and their crews put in on race cars, and then, I mean, you're not winning a lot of money to begin with, so I guess a lot of it comes back to results on the track, and if you're not getting those, I can see where the frustration would set in really quick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It makes a big difference of how you're doing each weekend.
I was going to say, each week when you're either taking it home tore up or, like you say, running in the back, it's just not as much fun. Mm-hmm. 2006 and 7, you tried Grand Nationals and modified, but you just didn't get to run very much through those years. You win a couple of races, but you just can't get off the ground in 06 and 07.
Yeah, I was the same way. Just I didn't really have it financially to do it, and just I had my second kid in 07, so I just got, like I said, frustrated and not being able to buy what I needed to buy to win, and I just sold out.
Okay. Deal comes along, though, and you do get hooked up with Mark Smart, and you start running the Grand National, and you guys get 10 wins in a points championship.
Second in points.
And second at points at Winston.
Yes. Okay.
But then the Oktoberfest rolls around, and you come down to Lakeside, and that kind of sets the tone for this year. Must have been wonderful this year with 8 wins at Lakeside and 2 at Winston.
1 at Winston. Yeah, 8 wins at Lakeside and 1 at Winston. Yeah, it was a blast. So we went down there last year to Ron Wagner loaned us some motor just to go down there and see what the car would do to get our handling a little ahead of the game. And it was there, so we knew we had a good year ahead.
Okay. that's going to do it, folks.